started in Yemen as a result of Houthi attacks. Yemenis who did not want war besieged the military headquarters of the Houthis. Thousands of people asked the Houthis to stop their attacks. Yemenis do not want to die because of the mistakes of the Houthis. The United States is intensifying its military campaign against the Houthi rebels in Yemen, marking a new chapter in the stormy waters of the Red Sea. The U.S. has launched this fourth offensive in response to the Houthis' ongoing hostility towards military and commercial vessels. This intricate scenario raises two important questions. First, given the Houthis' recent identification by the U.S. as global terrorists, would these ongoing U.S. strikes successfully stop their continuous naval attacks? Second, considering the Houthis' recent strikes on U.S. assets and their rapprochement with Tehran, how would Iran respond to these developments? Now that we have a fourth wave of U.S. strikes that destroyed Houthi positions in Yemen yesterday night, let's look at the constantly shifting dynamics of the Middle East. U.S. ships and submarines initiated another wave of strikes against Houthi locations in Yemen today. The U.S. military has now directly struck the Houthi organization in Yemen 4 times in as many days, according to U.S. sources, who said that the U.S. military launched a fresh wave of ship and submarine missile strikes on Houthi-controlled regions on Wednesday. The Middle East is still seeing the spread of the Hamas war. The official opinion that the U.S. has added the Houthis back to its list of specially designated global terrorists is what prompted the strikes. The official categorization carries with it sanctions designed to cut off violent extremist organizations' financial support. While speaking under anonymity, officials discussed undisclosed details. Subsequently, on Wednesday, the U.S. Central Command, or CENTCOM, announced that 14 Iranian-backed Houthi missile teams with ammunition ready to fire toward Houthi-controlled regions in Yemen had been the target of intense airstrikes. In less than a week, the U.S. launched its 4th round of strikes against the Houthi rebels in Yemen. Prior to this, in the 3rd wave of attacks, the U.S. Navy and Air Force hit at least 4 Houthi ballistic missile launchers after the Yemeni Houthis fired ballistic missiles at U.S. warships and other U.S. cargo ships in the Red Sea. Now, using missiles supplied by Iran, U.S. airstrikes yesterday night targeted the Houthi headquarters and missile units. Despite the fact that not much has been said regarding the U.S. strikes, according to information obtained from the Sanaa Coulis, the U.S. airstrikes have killed tens of thousands of Houthi. Furthermore, the U.S. Navy used ballistic missiles and drones carrying bombs to counterattack against the Houthis' 2 successive attacks on U.S. cargo ships. The U.S. Navy also destroyed the Houthi ballistic missile and combat drone arsenals during the nighttime airstrikes. The U.S. reached a breaking point after the Houthi attacks on cargo ships and the U.S. Navy. Actually, Iran is in the same boat. Iran finds itself in a precarious position as the Houthis, backed by Iran, have assaulted U.S. warships and cargo ships in the past week. Rumors circulating from Tehran's backstage area claim that Iran holds the recalcitrant Houthi commander accountable for the defeat. Iran has even taken deceptive actions to tidy up the wreckage the Houthis have caused. Iran made an attempt to highlight Syria, Iraq, and Pakistan 2 days ago. But in the process, the Houthis became even more insane and attacked U.S. ships. This sparked more Iranian lobbying efforts, but the U.S.'s decisive actions thwarted Iran's attempts to divert attention. Following recent strikes by U.S. warships, submarines, and aircraft, the U.S. administration is demonstrating that it has heeded its warnings and is ready to confront Iranian proxies. What cards Iran will play, how the Houthis and Iran will respond, and how the U.S. Navy will get ready for the new Middle East dynamics are all unknown. According to CENTCOM, the missiles posed an immediate threat, and the strikes would make it more difficult for the Houthi to carry out their heedless assaults on commercial and international ships. Major General Pat Ryder, the press secretary for the Pentagon, stated on Wednesday that the United States will keep up its military intervention to stop such attacks. According to Ryder, they are taking advantage of this to launch attacks on ships and vessels for over 50 countries worldwide, and we will keep working with our partners in the region to prevent or deter these attacks in the future. The strategic implications of these attacks, which extend beyond immediate military targets, further complicate the problem. The U.S. Navy gains significant insights into its air warfare capabilities from the abundance of real-world data from these wars, especially when dealing with threats as diverse as large-scale drones and anti-ship ballistic missiles. However, it also offers adversaries, China foremost, a rare chance to obtain intelligence since they have closely watched U.S. Navy operational tactics and electronic warfare plans. As the U.S. negotiates this fragile balance of power, these strikes and geopolitical changes will transform the Middle East and beyond. With so many recent incidents and attacks in and around the Red Sea, the U.S. Navy has unprecedented data on the performance of its developing air warfare capabilities, allowing it to weigh the advantages and downsides. The U.S. Navy